there, welcome to the Upcycled Design Lab. My name's Cindy and I craft using recycled and repurposed materials. If you're new here, I hope you'll stick around and check out some of my other upcycling tutorials. And if you like what you see, you can check the subscribe button below any of my videos to become a subscriber. Also, if you'd like to be notified when I upload new videos, be sure to check the bell icon as well. So what do I have for you today? I have kind of a simple but crazy project. I've been saving a lot of brown packing paper that we've gotten in different shipments when we've ordered different things. And if you have seen any of my other videos, you know that I love to use Mod Podge. So I'm going to be using that as well. And I also have a brown gel pen and some brown shoe polish that I'm going to be using to fix my living room chairs. So before I get started, I want to just give you a brief history of the chairs. We got them about 10 years ago, and they were just this plain brown vinyl when we bought them. And for the first 6 or so years of their lives, they weathered pretty well in their original state. But in 2016, we added 2 puppies and 2 cats to our household, and in a matter of weeks, the cats had made thousands of pinholes and tears in the vinyl. So I set out to repair the chairs in a way that would withstand the needling from the cats. And what I came up with was a crazy combination of twine attached to the chair with a glue made from pickle juice and gelatin. And I'll just let that thought settle in for a second because I know how crazy that sounds. But believe it or not, the chairs looked pretty good when they were finished. And while I did have to re-glue a few spots here and there, they held up pretty well for 4 years as chairs, cat scratch toys, dog beds, and lookout posts. But a little over a year ago, we made more additions to our 4-legged family in the form of these 2 rambunctious fur balls. And the combination of 4 years, 4 dogs, and 2 cats has finally done in the finish on these chairs. Recently, big pieces of twine have been pulled off all at once by excited puppy paws, and the seats have actually worn out due to human use. So it was clearly time to either toss out the chairs or give them a facelift. And since we still have 6 4-legged destructive creatures living in our house, I can't think of a good reason to buy new furniture that I will just mourn over when it's damaged. And then, of course, there is the fact that I like to do crazy experiments. So here's a look at the chair. You can see some of the big pieces have just come off completely. The seat's very worn. And there's more loose pieces all over. So it's in pretty dismal condition. And I'm just going to gently tear off the twine, and then I'll scrub it down with a sponge and some warm water to get the extra glue and debris off of the chair. It's pretty dusty and messy, but you can see that the pieces come off in pretty big chunks. All right, I'm going to spend some time cleaning up the room and the chair, just scrubbing it with a sponge and some warm water and maybe some soap, and we'll try to get most of this residue off of here. I'm starting on the back of my chair, and you can see that I've got it mostly cleaned off, but there's still some remnants of glue and a little bit of the hairs from the twine. But I'm not too worried about that. I just wanted to get most of the loose stuff off. So the next step is to take my pieces of packing paper and I have a nice 1.5-inch brush here, and of course the Mod Podge, and I'm just going to brush it on and start applying the paper. So I just want to get the paper adhered tightly to the chair. I'm not so worried if there's a few wrinkles here and there, but you want to make sure that you get it stuck down to the chair. I'm just working it with my brush here. And I'll take the next piece of paper and I'm just going to overlap it slightly. And continue working this way until I have the whole chair covered. So my packing paper is dry now, and you can kind of see some of the lines here on the chair where the stitching was. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to use my brown gel pen to go back in and sort of draw in those stitch lines. So I'm going to start on the back of the chair here. You can kind of see there were some stitch lines here, here, and across the top. So like I said, I'm just going to use my brown gel pen to go in and sort of make a faux stitch line to replace the one that I covered up. I finished drawing on my stitch lines, and so the next step is where the magic happens. I'm going to use my finger to apply the brown shoe polish to the chair. And you can see as I'm working it that the edges and the wrinkles in the paper pick up more of the shoe polish, and they end up a little bit darker, which gives it a more leathery look. And it also helps to give this fake stitches that you've drawn on there a little bit more of a subtle look. Once I have the chair covered with the shoe polish, I'll let that sit overnight, and then I'm going to go back and apply a thin coat of the Mod Podge to seal the shoe polish so it doesn't come off on anybody's clothing. And you can also use this last step to tack down any loose pieces of paper that might have not gotten stuck down on the first time around. So that's it for today's project. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope you'll check back for my next upcycling tutorial. Thanks so much for watching.